Hi everyone, 732 Review Crew here. I am Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
And we are back today with Battlestar Galactica Season 2, Episode 5. This one is titled The Farm. And we are very excited to start this one as this was happening right after Rosalind and Lee left the Galactica.
And they're on the run.
On the run as the government.
They're with their BFF.
The commander's awake again, so now the XO doesn't have to be in charge.
Thank God.
And also, we found out that there's survivors on Caprica, but on the Galactica, speaking of, Callie shot Boomer and killed her.
Oh, yeah,
So
right.
now, I wonder if that means her consciousness has been uploaded to another Cylon or something like that.
That's what we've been hinted that that's what happens.
Yeah,
And
so
obviously we can assume at least one of the humans in the survivors group on Caprica is not a human.
yes, and only one way for us to find out, and that's for us to watch. So thank you for joining us, and we are going to be starting this episode in 3, 2, 1.
Everyone's a Cylon until they're not a Cylon.
What if everyone is a Cylon?
And there's like actually 8 humans and not 8 Cylons.
It's just the Adamas that are real.
Hey Joe, what's your number?
What?
You like number 1, 2, 4, 5, 8?
Cylon number.
Yeah, are you Cylon?
Oh, yeah. I saw that comment. Yeah.
Ah, damn, you saw that.
The Cylons don't see all that activity.
Right. That sounds like at least one of them.
Did you sleep with him?
I mean, they were sleeping in separate beds.
But she is naked.
A lot of our tactics are stuff we just saw in the movies. We could use some professional advice.
As soon as I get back to Galactica, I'll send a rescue party.
Yeah, right.
If I say I'm gonna do something, I do it.
You're always such a bitch in the morning.
How are they going to get a rescue party there anyways?
Stop asking silly questions, all right?
We have a mission to accomplish. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess they told you.
Yeah.
Is he a Cylon?
I think he is a honeypot Cylon.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you mean they're both Cylons?
Once I'm inside, I'll blow the brain and I'll start working on trying to get it.
Cylons? Yeah.
I mean, it has to be. What's going on?
Yeah, what is going on?
Is she activating? Oh, she got shot.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's a good way to start the episode.
And they immediately retreated.
So good to see him back up. Even he has to clap for it.
There are things we don't say often enough. All of you mean a lot to me. I just want you to know that. Let's get back to work.
Never knew I could miss a character's voice so much as that very raspy, unique voice he has.
Yeah, he does.
I feel strange, like closer to the ground. She was dangerous enough as a symbol of resistance, but not with Lee help.
Why is it so adversarial?
You can hide, but you can't run.
I need to make an appeal to the people.
Zeus has returned to Olympus. Adam is back in command.
My father, he's back.
My name is Lee Adama. Till recently, I was the commander of Galactica's air group. I love my father. But in this, he is wrong. I call on all free-thinking people in the fleet. I can't do this. Sorry, everyone.
Good.
Thought I could, but I can't.
Pick a side, my guy.
I mean, he already picked a side, but condemning his father to that point is
I'm playing the religious card.
committing.
Uh-oh.
You're okay.
Who's this guy?
He's a Cylon.
You got shot in the abdomen. I'm Simon.
Unless she's in a Cylon hospital.
That's what I'm saying.
Who brought me in?
This big guy named Anders.
Where is he?
He died. On the table. I thought he was only slightly wounded. Turns out a piece of shrapnel had nicked his aorta.
Bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. we did everything we could do.
I think he's lying.
All the men she loved died.
It's like there was 50 people left alive in an encampment, but now there's a hospital.
You just met him.
Doesn't matter. She's emotionally damaged.
Yeah, she needs a therapist.
Are you CYLON?
What do you think?
I'm not buying it.
I mean, she is wounded though, so technically pain med sedation, not after like that. She's just.
Oh, Callie's in jail now?
I mean, she did shoot a prisoner.
Asset, not a prisoner.
She shot a CYLON.
Did you love her, Chief?
Thought I did.
When you think you love somebody, you love them. That's what love is. Thoughts. Is that what Boomer was, a machine? She was more than that to us. She was more than that to me. She couldn't have been just a machine. Could you love a machine?
Is he challenging everything he ever thought of?
I think so, yeah.
Your death experience?
There are many copies. You'll see her again.
That was like a wise old mentor scene.
Yeah.
Like Yoda talking to Luke.
While he was also coming to these conclusions, though.
I just think it's odd that I've been here for 2 days and I haven't seen anybody else.
We have 223 patients at the moment, 2 doctors and 5 teachers masquerading as nurses.
Oh.
It's awfully quiet.
Most of our patients are succumbing to acute radiation poisoning. Your test results will be back this afternoon.
They have a full lab running with all the catalysts and everything.
He's also filling out paperwork.
I mean,
You gotta keep charts.
You gotta keep charts.
Is it serious?
Nah, should be fine.
What?
OBGYN exam.
Yeah, what?
Gotta keep that reproductive system in great shape. It's your most valuable asset these days.
CYLON. Come on.
Serious.
No.
Finding healthy childbearing women your age is a top priority for the resistance. And you'll be happy to know that you are a very precious commodity.
CYLON.
No. Worse.
I'm commodity. I'm a viper.
What?
You'll understand.
I mean, you do realize that you're one of a handful of women left on this planet actually capable of having children.
Yeah, Mikey, I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's gasp implied.
Well,
Name of the
no one's
episode.
forcing you.
All right.
Take a moment. The human race is on the verge of extinction. A lot of women with your history forego bearing children of their own.
My history.
I saw the fractures on your x-rays. A lot of old fractures from childhood.
Ooh.
It's interesting how you managed to break every finger on both hands.
Huh?
Every break in the exact same place between
Reticulous.
the first and the second knuckle.
Punishment. Break each knuckle. Punishment.
Children of abusive parents often fear passing along that abuse to their own children.
He's just really digging deep.
Mm-hmm. He is not a good person.
You know, now I'm actually wondering if it wasn't CYLONs that attacked the group and it was other humans who were looking for childbearing women, apparently.
I will give a signal to the fleet. All those wishing to honor the gods and walk the path of destiny will follow me back to Kobol.
Wow.
No one's gonna believe this crap.
Wrong.
This is stupid. And anyone that is, that wants to make a suicide run to Kobol, please let them.
Wow.
Why is he like so angry? Is it?
You see, after he died, it awakened his programming.
Give them your blessing.
No, it's not right. It isn't who I am.
Laura, this is your path. The one the gods picked for you.
She's very uncomfortable right now. He's still alive? Yeah.
This line 10 times already.
She must have taken a bullet.
Doctor lied.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon? Who is she?
Cylon.
She's with us.
Oh my God, Hilo.
You're the father of my child, Hilo. I'm not gonna lose you.
Even though she bailed on him, flew away.
Shh. She loves him, okay? What's that?
Big signal.
Is it a flare?
Yeah.
Space flare?
He just jumped away.
2, 3 at the most.
Think they're in for a rude awakening? I don't think so.
Okay, I'm so uncomfortable when we go back to Starbuck every single time.
What's this new scar?
Yeah, I had to go back in last night while you were asleep. Some internal bleeding to tie up. Nothing to worry about. Everything's gonna be fine. Just about done with you, Starbuck.
How does he
Nice way
know?
of putting it. Hey, I just woke up.
Now you're going back to sleep.
How does he know she's called Starbuck?
You probably had chats or something. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not actually
Wait, did she have her dog tags on her?
That wouldn't say Starbuck, that'd say Trace. Yeah, and she noticed it.
Fuck.
Pending lab test results and sample.
Yep.
Complete removal will proceed tomorrow.
Complete removal.
Is that regret I hear in your voice?
Told you, Cylon.
Oh!
If it is, it certainly is none of your concern.
And they're harvesting her reproductive organs.
That's what it sounds like.
Please help me.
Boomer to the rescue.
Broken glass to the rescue.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
You know, something actually has been bothering me lately. I never told you my call sign was Starbuck.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, so is he not a
No,
Cylon?
he is. You can't kill me.
Oh, yeah.
Is she in the lab?
Destroy the samples.
Yee. Oh God.
Sushan. Sushan, it's me, Kara.
Oh my God.
Get the power.
The power.
Can't live like this.
Fuck.
With the baby machines.
Oh, are they already?
Yep.
pregnant?
Cylons are way more fucked up than I thought.
Yeah, I was expecting test tube babies. Oh, look at that proper EMT fitting. I wouldn't. That is.
Hey, electrocute yourself?
I thought you blow up the roof.
I'm burning the building down. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that right. Did she not keep her piece of glass?
Nope. That's better than a piece of glass for her right now.
Oh, if I were her, I wouldn't have stopped. I would have literally bashed her head into a pulp right there while I had the chance. Come on.
Fuck.
Hello, Starbuck.
I'm back already.
Huh?
They're there to
It's
rescue her.
Boomer.
Resistance! Woo!
Just like, thank God.
I didn't know he was a Cylon.
Well, you have to remember.
Holy shit! Oh! Those scars.
Oh,
fuck.
Whoa! Who's that?
Boomer.
Not Boomer, Sharon.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
Should blow that whole fucking building up.
They killed the power, so.
I don't think they have that many explosives.
They should just get out of there.
Now they can leave Caprica.
Half the fleet.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
That's almost a third of the fleet.
We were wrong. And another third probably is just doesn't want to commit.
Where's he going to look at Boomer?
Funny story, Adama. You're gonna see her sooner than you thought.
Wow. He really feels betrayed, huh?
He loved every single one of them. That was his family.
You thought he could?
Yeah, what in the comments said it's like the worst backhanded compliment or thank you in television history, because she's like, "Thank you, sir," and shoots him.
What are they gonna do, knock me up as some Cylon kid? They were gonna try to. We haven't been very successful so far. Procreation. It's one of God's commandments.
Are they okay with her being a Cylon?
Apparently.
You know, if you agreed to bear children, it'd be voluntary. Maybe even set you up with someone you like. Like you two kids.
Maybe the one thing they were missing was love.
Ah.
That's wild.
Science!
They didn't ask Sushan if she wanted to fall in love, all right? They put a tube in her and they hooked her up to a machine. They know who you are, Kara. You're special. You have a destiny.
For what?
Yo, power to Kara for not just killing her.
Right?
Take the heavy raider, cram it full of ground troops. Find out where the next farm is, liberate it, then the next, and the next,
No,
and the
it's
next.
not why you came to Caprica.
I have this ship right here for you.
The arrow. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go find Earth.
What about you? You'll die here, you know that.
A lot of people died here.
I'm not gonna leave you here.
You said you were gonna come back, remember? I'm gonna hold you to it.
He's well written.
Yeah.
Oh, she's giving him his dog tags.
I'm coming back. I said it. I meant it. Let's go home.
Did they bring it back?
Are they taking Boomer with them?
Sharon?
Sharon's the one flying them.
Yeah, Sharon's going back with them.
That's gonna be so funny.
That was like a really nice surprise relationship there between the two of them. That was good.
Hi guys, we're back for the discussion after updating the Cylon board, which I am going to flash now. Whoa. Now we will get to these points about why we think these people who are Cylons aren't Cylons anymore. But before we get into that, that was a rather disturbing episode of this show.
They went a little heavy on that.
And
yeah, they did.
It took me about halfway through the episode to realize what the actual name of this show was. Episode was in terms of relation, because at first I thought it was going to be like they're farming
like a
body parts.
I thought it was going to be like a call sign for like another secret base, like, oh, at the farm.
Well, no,
I didn't think it was literal.
I thought they were going to make human livestock, type thing.
You and I were pretty sus off the rip the moment she woke up in the hospital.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, they have a hospital? Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. Why are they not basing out of the hospital? Why are they in a fucking
yeah.
And then when they started giving some clues, so we met a new Cylon that is confirmed in this episode, which is named Silent. Dr. Silent, whatever. I think for this sake
Dr.
of this
Cylon.
episode, he was the persona that the Cylon took on was a doctor, because as you've seen, they could take on different personas and stuff, like how Boomer is a pilot,
Six is a programmer.
Leoben was a personal relations person, like or like news person. So Starbuck was shot during a Cylon engagement in this one, which pretty interesting. How they showed us that this group of survivors was very inexperienced in combat, but once actually engaged in combat like that against like the mechanical ones, they weren't able to handle it, and they left Starbuck on the ground.
Yeah, well, it seems like they do a lot of guerrilla tactics, hit and run, and like they're using the element of surprise.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then the opposite happened to them. They got ambushed.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, we learn that Starbuck is taken to a hospital. At first, they tell us that the man that we met last episode, Anders, is dead. A piece of shrapnel nicked his aorta. But in the episode, I think we see him like running away and like from the fight, and
he ends up being alive.
I call bullshit the moment he said that.
Well, he was too much of an on-screen character considering his relationship with Starbuck off the rip in this episode where they were sleeping together. To be killed off screen like that, I feel, because it has an impact on her character where if the man died, then like all the men she loved or is meant to die technically.
Yeah, I hear you. So what do you think? Did you ever think he was a Cylon, or you were never 100%?
So I'm kind of like on
the doctor?
The doctor,
like,
off the rip.
What did he say that you were like, boom? is him. Because when he said they had 223 patients, I was like, yeah, no, he's fucking lying. It's like they had 50 people.
They didn't have that many.
No. They could have had that many, but I was like, there's no way they just have 200 people they're treating in this hospital.
When we only saw like 50 people in the resistance.
And that's like the only people they have been able to find.
Because it's been over a month.
Yeah. Now, I was like, dude.
So the interesting thing was, before we get to that there was a 1 week time skip between Adama waking up to now, which means that she's been with the resistance for about a week so far. So that's makes sense why they're kind of closer. But I think, waking up off the rip, to get back to that, I didn't think he was sketchy at first. When he started mentioning fertile women and whatnot, that's when a flag. That's when I looked at you guys.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was a Cylon thing at first. I thought this was just going to be a creepy psycho episode.
I thought that was the biggest red flag, that it was a Cylon.
Well, I thought he was just going to be like a doctor or somebody who survived the nuclear holocaust and now is using his position of power to abuse women. I thought that's what it was. Which, in case, I thought he was trying to,
which is almost darker than what we
actually saw. Which I thought he was going to be like a cult type thing going on, like he has like all these women and all them are his children type thing. But I'm happy it's not. Or, they said there was 3 doctors, so it could have been like, 3 of them working together.
Well, he said another doctor and then 5 teachers playing and nurses.
Yes. Now it's darker because it actually ends up being a Cylon farm. And during the pelvic exam, he says, you'll be good to have babies. It shows that the Cylons, after initiating their invasion, rounded up all the women they could find and tried to impregnate them. But what do they find out? There's a missing ingredient.
They need love.
Yeah,
which is interesting because maybe it's it's part of their religion. I think it's what their god said.
Yes, yeah. I actually found it really interesting that they did that because it's like, oh yeah, these are machines. Like they have no concept of what love actually is. So it makes sense that they would be like, maybe we need that one thing that we can't figure out because we don't understand.
It's the missing ingredient.
Now,
but like it actually makes a lot of sense because they have no idea. Like they just have no comprehension of what it is,
which is interesting because now. This makes me very, very very, very cautious. Very, observant now of any relationship forming anywhere in the show.
Like Duala and Billy.
Also, Starbuck and Anders. Anybody like that. It just makes me feel like any relationship that we've not been paying attention to or something like that has been brewing is because maybe there's a split in the Cylons in theology where some of them think they can, brute force and have, brute force their way through the problem in the sense that they can, rape women, unfortunately. Or there's the other ones that are trying to do it via actually falling in love and following God's will, aka 6 in his head. Because what does she keep telling Baltar?
I love you.
And you need to accept God's love, Baltar.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So maybe before the nukes went off, she was trying to actually do that organically with him too. Or maybe now that she's in his head, she's trying to push him to that. Because as they keep talking about children, babies, this and that, I think they keep focusing on love for certain Cylons, whereas the ones on Caprica are so focused still on this breeding program type thing.
Well, I mean, it makes sense when parents explain it to kids. It goes when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. So it is a secret ingredient. Before we move on, I did want to point out, based off our Cylon board, I know we moved Lieutenant Thrace off my board to confirm not Cylon, but upon reflection, I'm thinking that it's a far-flung theory, but I'm thinking she might still be a Cylon because he did that pelvic exam and then immediately afterwards did something with her ovaries, which he might have noticed that they had sex and then took the ovary out to see if it worked out, and then she might still be a Cylon.
Which comes to my part where I think Anders is a Cylon and not her being the Cylon.
I don't think Anders is a Cylon.
I don't think so.
I think it's a lot more easy to say that, because then Sharon / Boomer was like, you have a destiny, Starbuck, like you're important. Like she specifically said that.
Yes, she did say that, and like, how would she know?
And like, what destiny?
But if it's destiny to bear a child, then technically doesn't Sharon already have a baby in her, and she's the first one to bear an actual Cylon baby?
Well, what about number? We don't know. But all I was going to say is, in the conversation Starbuck overhears, they didn't harvest her ovaries. He said they took a sample, and if the sample came back like the way they wanted it, they would harvest her ovaries.
Big theory.
And that was and she escaped before that happened. So they didn't harvest her. Well, unless they were lying and they knew she was watching them, but I don't think so.
I heard, I might have misheard, but I thought it was that they said that they took her ovary for testing and then they were going to do something else.
Yeah, I think they might have.
No. He specifically says, like, if it comes back conclusive or whatever, they'll harvest her ovaries.
Well, they said they put
maybe they took one ovary.
That's what I'm saying. Well, there was the cut right there.
So as the medical professional who knows partially, what I think happened is she may have had what they call a hysterectomy, which is a partial removal of the ovary, the uterus.
Partial hysterectomy.
So, because, the ovaries, it's ovary. So what it is I think so. I do radiology for a living, so sometimes I screen for that.
That's the right word. But anyways, go on.
But there's two. So if they removed one, she had a partial, which means she technically can still have a baby, but they were doing, science on the one that they took. Because if you remove one and it's fertile, the second one is considered to be fertile potentially. That's what maybe I'm thinking of Cylons are trying to think about. That's just coming from my medical background of knowing, what they did and what type of study they're doing. So you can technically remove that ovary and still have the other one. I'm sorry.
I would agree.
Men, we don't know.
I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm going to agree partially with what you're saying. I think the only red flag, I don't think the ovaries had any, I don't think any of that ties in. But I do agree with you that Sharon being like, you're special, you have a destiny, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
I'm going from 80% that Starbucks is Cylon to like 10% she's a Cylon.
So sure, fair. But I definitely don't think Anders is a Cylon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So partial hysterectomy called a so it removes only the uterus, leaving the cervix. So technically they could be given a baby to bear in that situation.
The uterus is not the
ovary. You're saying that, Joe, but this is my specialty in life and my job. So that, in terms of that, I know
I'm saying we should move on.
Oh no! I thought
I'm not questioning anything you're saying, Mikey. I'm just questioning. I think we got a lot to discuss still.
Well, we do. The last thing I want to bring up is actually I forgot it during that. Damn it. No, the one thing I wanted to bring up, the reason why I think that XO and his wife don't have a baby. And I think that his wife is a Cylon. Is
they don't have love.
They don't have love in their relationship, so therefore they can't have a baby.
Yeah, no, they literally only have sex when they're
angry. So there's no actual love in this relationship, so therefore unable to conceive a baby. Whereas if they actually loved each other, they could have had a baby.
Whoa.
That's like assuming the Cylons are right, though.
But it seems like they are because Sharon's pregnant.
You don't get mad at someone unless you care about them.
And she knows how to push his buttons. But we'll move on from that because we've been talking about that for a bit.
You'll get upset.
So we have to discuss what's going on the Galactica.
They get mad.
The Galactica. So Adama is back in power.
Yo, what's up with Adama?
And he seems like he is doubling down. Now, he said he is closer to the ground than he ever been. I think that means he was almost dead, technically dead, or under surgery, closest to death possible. So now his eyes are open to different possibilities. But also, one of his most trusted officers has betrayed him. So now he is... in the sense that, maybe Cylons aren't all what we think about because maybe Cylons can be, friendly with us, love us, if they can get past their programming. Because it seemed like he was thinking with Boomer, like, I loved her once because she was like family to me because the ship is my family.
Yeah.
And she loved me. Maybe if they can get rid of that programming portion, Cylons and humans can work together and function together.
I kind of got that a little bit too.
Because he was questioning his entire
or at least just like the the possibility.
I'm not believing that until we see Caprica Sharon meet Adama and how he responds.
I agree. Because right now he seems to be doubling down on everything instead of like actually being.
He doesn't seem like galaxy mind Adama. He seems very narrow minded right now.
Yeah, because I can't believe that he didn't try to like calm the entire situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't, even if that wasn't actually his plan, he was like, hey guys, look, like, let's talk, whatever. You're my prisoner again, idiot.
Now,
and then it's like, son, stop acting like an idiot and pick a side.
Well, he's honorable. I don't think he'd double cross like that.
But to be honest, also, he did make an agreement with the president that she would not oversee, but he does not have the authority to make such agreements because the president supersedes the military, considering they're considered to be the commander-in-chief in this universe and in our universe. So technically...
Well, hold on. She's not the commander-in-chief.
She's not.
They explicitly said...
I'm sorry, never mind. But regardless, the president is the legitimately elected, even if she is the 32nd in line, member of...
Well, no, then she won the election.
Yeah, but then she also had that moment. Yeah. So the big thing is, illegitimately taking over the government with military is a coup, and technically Adama taking her out of power because what she did was Adama power tripping himself.
Yeah, no, he had no right to do that.
And he's doubling down, which is bad because as we saw, a third of the fleet left with Tom Zarek and Roslin. It did not seem like Lee was there, as he said, I can't do this. Even though he didn't agree with his dad, he couldn't agree with the both split.
He couldn't do the speech.
He couldn't go on the record.
He couldn't condemn his father.
Like disavowing.
Well, it seemed like he didn't actually believe what he was going to say.
Well, it's a little complicated when that's your dad and you love your dad and he's like the last family you have, and you're basically choosing to not only disrespect him, disavow him, and just it's a lot.
Plus the knowledge of him being alive again is also heavy, because the main reason he's even in the position he's in is because of Ty, not his father.
Exactly. And he didn't expect his dad to wake up immediately.
I mean, he disobeyed his father's orders.
He could condemn Ty all day long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. With that. Now, we have seen the president actually does not believe in her religious beliefs, I believe.
No.
In the sense that she's not as devout as she makes herself out to be.
All right.
Which is where she says she's going to play the religious card, and then even goes as far as, to say when they're asking her to bless the people on the ship, she's like, I'm not comfortable doing this. And they're like, you got to do this.
No.
It seems like Alosha's been pushing her, the priestess.
So, yes, but what I'm getting from this, and I think it's actually beautifully written and how it's done, is that initially her visions were the result of the drugs. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, cool. And she kind of leaned into it, but she was a little loopy, so whatever. But now that we have this whole precedence and she has a baseline, it's more of the, I forget the writing expression for it, but it's the fighting destiny portion of the hero's rise types thing, where she now is to touch on your comment of leaning into the religious thing. It's one thing to have convictions or not have convictions and then use those for political use.
Yeah.
So she was leaning into the religious thing just for the political use, regardless of whether or not she has personal beliefs of it. I don't think that's relevant to the story.
Yes.
But her apprehension towards blessing all the people on the ship is more of the, well, hold on, let's double back a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. I do have these convictions, but I'm not comfortable taking on the role of the prophet just yet. And then the, I forget her name, the girl that's with her, that was like, no, you have to do it. You have to bless them. They need that. It's her pushing her to her destiny of being that prophet. So it's like a rise and fall when you're writing characters like this, and the rise was her speaking from her prison cell and convincing people, and now she's having her double back moment, where it's I don't want to fully lean into this and be the devout zealot prophetess, and then the people around her are now pushing her no, you need to be we need that symbol, you have to keep going. So now she's going back on her rise, and then eventually she'll have a crisis of faith towards the top, and then we'll get our ultimate culmination.
I was gonna say, how do you think this is going to go? I think it's going to go very poorly.
I think they're getting to Earth, which is all they need her for.
I think it's going to work out in their favor, but I think
ultimately, yes. No, but I mean, right now, for Roslin, do you think them separating from the rest of the fleet and putting themselves in a vulnerable position and putting all of their faith into Starbuck returning and all of this stuff is going to work out?
So
I think it's going to end horribly.
I think we're on the upswing. I think that we're at the bottom and we're coming up.
Sure, I think, yes, I would agree. But then I think it's ultimately Adama swallowing his fucking pride and coming in to rescue them and being like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We can't just let you die. But like, this is dumb as shit. Can you stop doing
There's
this?
going to be a downfall coming up, but
then it's going to be like, it was worth it.
She's going to open the Vault of Apollo, Vault of Artemis,
something like that.
Where she's going to open the God Vault and find the way to Earth. I know that's happening this
and then
season.
die.
Maybe?
It's prophesied she's supposed to die.
Well, she's supposed to be dying. I don't think she's getting to Earth, but I don't know if she's going to die on Capricorn.
I thought part of it was that she would die before they got there.
Yes.
But she's the one who's like gonna.
And she's going to be
on the right path.
She has to open the vault, and then after that she can die anytime between immediately after and getting to Earth.
She better not let anyone shake her hand. Thank you, man. Bang.
But no, I think that was a beautifully written part for Rosalind. I think that was exactly how you would want to write a character like that. And I think it worked out because we had a bunch of ideas about it.
I like this episode more in the direction they're taking it now and them convincing a third to go with them, because it's not really as much as like, I know she's going with the religious angle, but it wasn't it was like religiously motivated, but they're still pretty much just like, hey, are you trying?
She's also the president, so like I was getting the impression that it was like a third of loyalists is her, a third of loyalists is Adama, and the other third's just like, we're gonna stick with them for now and see how it goes.
Sure. Oh, so those are like the
it's three
the cliques.
Yeah, you have your loyalists, and then you have the people in the middle who are like, we're gonna hang out here, but like if things start going, we're gonna dip out.
Sure, I would agree. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Adama.
He seems really like fixated.
Different.
I think he's shaken.
Well, he had the whole discussion about.
I think that's the big thing.
He's definitely questioning his faith in people.
I think the boomer thing shook him so that he doesn't have his like sense at the moment because he's trying to figure out reality, and that's why he's so narrow beamed on like continuing his current actions
crusade
rather than like think about it and be like, maybe we should pull back a little.
Well, he had the entire was it him that said love is thoughts?
Yeah,
and then he said, Boomer is more than a machine type thing. He worked with her, all this stuff. So like I said, he's starting to come to the realization that maybe Cylons aren't as clear cut as he thought they were, especially for a man who fought in the original Cylon War. So that means he's reevaluating his entire way of thinking, especially after his son left. So he's kind of like shaken to the core. So the only actual family he has left, especially considering Starbuck betrayed him and his son disobeyed him. So both his, kids left him, and his other son's dead. So all he has left is the Galactica and Ty as his like best friend.
Sure.
So right now he's feeling betrayed and trying to reestablish, especially after a near-death situation. So I think he's kind of realizing that maybe in a world where the Cylon version of Boomer isn't trying to kill him, he could actually work with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to make it seem like she's going to have a warmer welcome than she otherwise would previously.
They said all of this may happen and all this may happen again. Does that mean in the past Cylons bred with humans and made
Mikey,
what's going on now?
They just mean that
I think
time is like infinite and forever repeating itself.
Well, I think they're taking it literally in the sense that Cylons.
I don't think it was Cylons. I think it was more like the gods of Caprica bred with humans, and that's how they started that. And then now the humans created
Cobalt. That's Cobalt.
Cobalt, yeah. Sorry. The gods of Cobalt bred with humans did whatever happened there. Then the humans made the Cylons, and now they're breeding together, and that's the continuation.
My interpretation of that is the creation of cycle. Maybe the original gods were Cylons and made humans, and then the humans made the robot version.
Well, the idea is God had made humans and hit their image, so hypothetically you could not going.
We can,
but yeah, it's basically like the continuation of like a crushed species, but made in your image breeding program type thing.
Sure. Now, the one reason also I thought that Anders was a Cylon, I thought to back up, is when first off we had the entire situation where they're okay with Sharon being with them. She's obviously been openly declared that she's a Cylon of some way, considering how she talks.
I don't think you really had much of an option.
Well,
she was in a heavy fighter.
She saved them also, so that's a big thing. But what I'm saying is, I think Anders looked at Sharon and realized that she's pregnant, via love and whatnot too, and was like, she's achieved it.
Really, because I felt like she was strictly a means to an end in the sense of how the fuck are we gonna find Starbuck? That's all he wanted. She's like, hey, I can help you find her. And I also support the means to actually rescue her with this ship.
Well, there's the whole thing.
So, like, how does he say no? He got everything he wanted out of it, right?
Well, I'm talking about like when like he's hugging Kilo and they're getting ready to leave and stuff. I think he looks over like the shoulder of somebody. And he's kind of like he's like looking at Sharon in a way that makes me feel like that it's like almost like I might be looking into it too much, but that's also my Cylon, paranoia.
Sure, but he never mentioned God. He never mentions love.
He doesn't have to. Yes, he did. He mentioned love. He's in love with Starbuck right now.
But he doesn't say I love you.
Fell in love with the first.
The way they an intimate like.
Sure, but I mean, it's a 1 week thing. Like
but the way they acted was like they were in love almost.
They had a connection.
Yeah. But that's big for them. Moving on though, last thing.
I don't know.
Last thing that I thought was also interesting. After this entire thing. God, I lost my track of thought when you guys were talking.
I can add just that Gata obviously showed up on the board for me.
Yeah.
He's my tinfoil hat one. I'm like a hard lock that I just feel like Billy is.
But who does he love? He doesn't love anybody.
Billy?
No, Gata.
Well, they don't all have to. They're not all following the same thing. Like not every single one of them is a honeypot. I think Gata is in a very powerful position on the ship. I think some questionable things happen. Nothing that overly convinced me, but it made it a non-zero chance for me. So he was just, we were adding names and it was like, Bailey and Gata are my well, I'm confident in Billy and Gata. I don't know, but that's my tinfoil hat one.
Okay.
Because didn't you add a tinfoil hat theory on there?
I mean, it's D. It's been D since like
Koala.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so curious to see which one of us is right.
I feel like we're all wrong on that. I don't think anyone else on Battlestar is.
No, I really think there's one.
There might be one more.
Yeah,
there is.
And I feel like it's somebody younger.
I feel like it's not the secondary cast of like Duala, Gata, Billy. I feel like it's got to be like a Tetrotary, like a third person.
Somebody we haven't met yet, maybe even
like maybe Callie.
Mechanic
not Callie, but like someone on
Mechanic number 4.
Someone you see like every 4 episodes.
That guy who was like, you can't trust him in that episode.
But then, no, because I think the only reason I'm saying that is like, I'm not saying we're going to figure that out this season.
Figure it out.
No. It's like maybe end of season 3 where it's like a big reveal and it's like, holy fuck, dude. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Did you remember what you were?
No, unfortunately, I think it's lost.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it. It was something that I thought was like groundbreaking, and then I completely lost my train of thought about it.
He's the one with a notebook and pen.
Oh, I didn't write it down, unfortunately. I don't think anything besides. I don't think Tom Syrek is a Cylon. I think he's just a manipulating psychopath. A sociopath. I'm sorry, that's the correct.
I thought you were gonna put him on the board. You didn't.
The real villains
I don't think
are the sociopaths in our daily lives.
I think he's supposed to be.
I just think he has too much history.
He's too anti. Well, I don't think history has anything to do with it. I think he's just too anti-establishment openly to be a Cylon.
But I mean, like, he's a well-established. He's been in the public eye for a long ass time. That's what I mean.
I think anybody could be a Cylon. Even I feel like they could have had.
You wouldn't put them in. No.
I feel like
if you're having infiltration agents, you wouldn't put them in positions where people would know their face, because then you can't put alternates in.
But the big thing is also what I would think you would do is I do think Cylons existed in human form during the Cylon Human War. They just didn't know, like the original one, like 60 years ago.
I think you're wiling out.
You might be.
I don't know.
I am good now in terms of that. I forgot what I was going to say, so it's not going to come back to me.
Okie dokie.
But thank you for joining us. We are the 732 Review Crew. I am Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
If you enjoy our content, let us know in the comments below.
I got rolled over again.
It always does. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And check out our Patreon, which features full lengths. We do release 2 episodes
He's not here anymore. You're gone.
Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thank you and bye.
Bye.
Toodles.